Hello, welcome back to another episode of Leo Interviews. Today we have Robert Fukui with us.
Hey, Leo, good to see you. Good to meet you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course. Well, let's go ahead and get into today's podcast. Tell me about you.
Well, that's a big question. I guess it depends on 58, so it depends how far back you want to go. But yeah, I guess call it Japanese American. I was born in Hawaii. My dad was a pastor. Kind of basically grew up in the church. Essentially, we moved to California when I was 9 years old, and so that's where I grew up. Was in California, and one things I knew I didn't want to be when I grew up was a pastor. It's hard work. So it's harder than people think. Like my dad used to say, "Sheep bite." So if you don't get it, like the congregation, they usually call them the sheep, and the pastor's a shepherd. But sheep bite. They have high expectations for a pastor. They think they're God, and so they have that expectation. But yeah, so in the business world, I got a marketing degree out of college, and my first job out of college was with Coca-Cola. So it was right when you're too young to remember this, but we launched Powerade right at that time when I started with them, and the World Cup was in the U.S. That was the last time, first time and last time that the World Cup was hosted in the U.S. So got to get involved with some event marketing as well when the World Cup was in town, because Coca-Cola was a major sponsor, of course. And then spent a few years there with them, and then went into the pharmaceutical industry, where I started selling drugs, basically legal drugs for the pharmaceutical industry. Spent about 20 years with them, and then 10 years ago I left that to consult with family business to help them grow and scale. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. And we just moved from California. Last week we landed here in just outside of Charlotte is Lake Norman. So it's a beautiful lake right outside of Charlotte. And so we left California, where my wife was born and raised, and I was basically raised there. And uprooted and came east, came to North Carolina, and so that's where we are right now. So we're kind of starting a next chapter of our life. Both, I think, not just where we live, but I think a lot of our business is transitioning too. So that's where we are. So that's the short of it.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen a Powerade before in some
Same
type of
grocery store.
whack 7-Eleven down in like a Nevada desert. It's like there's not even a road. It just says 7-1. The other one is like in the sand somewhere. I'm like, oh, perfect place to stop here for lunch, right, guys? Yeah, no, perfect.
Yeah.
I have seen Powerade before.
Yeah, they're usually in all the grocery stores and most gas stations and stuff like that.
Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with 7-Eleven. Just saying, don't go to one like I just mentioned, because you might get kidnapped there. Just saying.
Yeah, sounds a little sketchy out there wherever you were.
Oh yeah. Well, currently we're in Texas, but I would not recommend maybe going to any 7-Eleven that's been like deserted or anything.
Yeah, you want to stop in Texas. You want to stop at Buc-ee's, right?
Oh yes. Oh, we love Buc-ee's. We adore it. We cherish it. We grab it by the neck and cherish it.
It is an amazing place. People that have never been there don't get it. And so last year we were having a road trip out here to Lake Norman, because we spent the month out here last year. And so we passed, a number of Buc-ee's along the way from Texas through Tennessee. And I was like, okay, there's one right outside of Knoxville. I'm like, okay, let's stop here. Let's see what all the buzz is about. And I was like, okay, I see. And I got to say, their brisket sandwiches for a, quote unquote gas station, that's a really good brisket sandwich. And for $8, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good.
Yeah. If you go to I think I want to say the one in Houston, Dallas, or this one other place, somewhere around there, I think they have the biggest one, and it's like a quarter times bigger than the normal one. They have they have. I could go on and on about Buc-ee's. For anyone watching, I could start a whole podcast called The Beavers
Yeah, there
and
you go.
just interview people who love Bucky's.
I should get that owner on your podcast. There you go.
Yeah. Hey,
Give a shout out
Mr.
to Bucky's.
Yeah, Mr. Bucky, if you're please watching, could you please come on my podcast? Thank you.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I will pay you one piece of a tree since beavers love trees, I think.
There you go.
Yeah. What was your biggest challenge in business and how did you overcome it?
Biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge was probably overcomplicating things, especially when it comes to marketing. I was, like I said, I majored in marketing in college. My career was in marketing and sales and worked for some of the biggest companies in the world. So I thought I knew marketing. And so the first 6 months of my business, things were going really well. In fact, I got one of my first clients was in Aruba. So she paid for myself and my wife to come out, spend a week out there and work with her. And and then from there I went to Honduras. And so there was some international travel in there. So, things were starting off really well. And then about 6 months later, things just kind of really dried up. I mean, I was getting no leads, no nothing. So started really just doing everything I could marketing wise to get some leads, get some sales, and literally like nothing was going on. And so I just so one morning I'm just sitting in my chair where I just kind of do my meditation and prayer and stuff in the morning, and I was just sitting there going, okay, what am I missing? Like, so this is impossible to everything I'm doing. It's got to be impossible not to get a lead. I mean, it's not, yes, it's always challenging whenever, especially when you're starting a new marketing initiative or a new marketing campaign. It takes a while for things to really take hold, but at least there's some traction, engagement, some leads. You may not get sales right away, but there's usually some signs that, some progress. And I was getting nothing. And so I was just sitting there going, man, Lord, what am I missing? So I just really, as I'm just sitting there, and this is, I think, a good thing for a lot of entrepreneurs to remember, is you need to give space to really think and create. Too many times we're so busy and wrapped up in what we're doing, and we're just constantly striving and just doing that we miss some of the simplest answers or solutions because we're just too busy and just doing. And so just in that quiet time, it just hit me that that I needed to go deeper. So in other words, in marketing, a lot of times people are talking about casting a wide net, get your name out there, get your brand out there as wide as possible. And then, you'll get a funnel, and then you'll get the few people that will actually buy. But what hit me was go deeper in the relationships I already had. So it wasn't about trying to create more relationships, more potential leads, more potential viewers and leads, but I already had all the relationships I needed. I just need to really go deeper in those relationships, just really cultivate those relationships, be intentional about reaching out to people I already knew. And, it doesn't have to be for business. It just be, even just friends, just connecting with people. So Wednesday mornings, I started once a week. On Wednesdays, I started doing my Connect Day, which I would connect with either friends, family, clients, past clients, and potential clients, people that I already knew. And it wasn't always just about business. It was just really, literally just authentically just connecting with people, saying, hey, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing? Let's have coffee or get on a phone call or Zoom or whatever. And so that was what did it, what turned things around in that moment. And so a lot of times we're trying to do too much instead of looking at what we already have in the business, what resources we already have. In my case, it was relationships, and really just be intentional about improving and working those instead of trying to do something different. Because when things aren't working in business, a lot of times we're gravitating towards something that's new or different. So whether it's a new product or a new service offering, or like in my case, a new marketing campaign, as opposed to looking at what you're doing and just fixing or improving what's already going on. And so that's my story on that, my answer to that question.
Oh yeah. I just gotta say, I think a great way you could have gotten sales was maybe giving some like advertisement to Buc-ee's. Just saying.
There you go.
Hey,
I
if you're
didn't know
trying,
Buc-ee's back then, so.
man, no. Well, there goes that idea. Anyway, but I was just gonna say, if you were starting a small business in Texas, just go Buc-ee's. Just
Go Buc-ee's, there you go.
advertise it, eat the food, do everything, and it might get pretty popular just because of a simple gas station.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's not really simple; it's pretty big.
Yeah.
What is the biggest piece of financial advice that you could give to someone right now?
The biggest piece, it's a two-parter. Number one, first thing is just get out of debt and then invest. Invest often, invest regularly, be consistent. So the first piece, the debt piece, you hear that most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Well, the same group of most Americans are also severely in debt, and because they don't have money to invest because it's all going back to paying debt. So the average American is spending, $1,500 a month just in paying off their consumer debt, not their house, but just talking consumer debt, whether it's a car loan, a student loan, just credit card debt, whatever. And so instead of just keep charging and racking up debt, it's look at intentionally where you want to put your money. Is it into consumption, meaning buying an asset that depreciates, like your car or clothes or whatever, versus investing money into things, an asset that appreciates? So whether it's stocks, mutual funds, precious metals, real estate. So I gravitated towards real estate and mutual funds. And so, the average American is spending because they don't think they have enough to invest. And so therefore they just say, well, until I make a lot of money, then I'll start investing. In the meantime, I'm just going to spend. And they go into debt. Well, that $1,500 a month, if they just pulled $500 of that, instead of if you were to say you paid off the average American paid off their debt, and instead of paying $1,500 a month towards that debt, now they have $15 a month extra money in the bank, right? Take $500 of that, $500 that a month. You put it into just a conservative mutual fund that gives you back a 10% return, which the stock market over the whole life of the stock market has averaged a 10% return. That $500 monthly invested at 10% over 30 years is $1 million. Now, the average American retires with less than $200,000 in net worth. So people might poo-poo the $1 million number, saying, "Oh, they'll need more than that." Well, guess what? You can invest more than that. I'm just giving you a baseline, $500 a month, which is a lot less than what the average American is paying on debt, right? I mean, think about that. That's not a lot of money in the big scheme of things when you put that in relativity. And you're going to be a millionaire by the time you retire. Or in your case, if you start now, or even if you're not going to have $500 a month, but if you just start investing now, the more money you make, the more money you keep putting in, right? Like when I was starting out, I didn't, when I got out of college, I was in a lot of debt, and it wasn't because of tuition and all that. It was just partying. I just had too much fun. And I had a credit card. I just got, and so I got into a lot of debt. So when I finally paid it off, my first job with Coca-Cola, they had a 401k, a matching 401k. And so I started putting what I could afford, a couple $100 a month, right? Well, as the years went on and the more income I made, I put a bigger and bigger percentage into my investments, into my 401k, as opposed to upgrading my lifestyle. See, most people, when they make more money, they just spend more money. So for me, I went from putting in 2% of my income into investments up to 6% to 17, and all the way to 17% of my income went into investments, by the time I left my last company. I mean, and that's just on the retirement side, not counting would have eventually invested into real estate and other things, right? So basically, I had more to invest. I established an investment mindset than a consumer mindset. The more money I make, I didn't just spend more money. Sure, I spent a little bit more money, but I put a bigger percentage of my money into investments. And that's how I was able to leave my pharmaceutical job without having to worry if I even made a dime in this consulting gig, right? That's not what I want to do, but I had a safeguard there because we'd invested so well. And so the first step was get out of debt, and then I'd use that money to then invest. And then the more money I made, the higher percentage of my income went into investments. And then that's how you become wealthy.
Wow.
And it wasn't about chasing. I want to caution people. It wasn't about chasing returns either, because I know people are like, oh, you can get 20% here, 15% there, whatever. I just went pretty conservative because I have a low risk tolerance. But the key is I was consistent. Every month I was investing. And with that consistency, the compound interest just all of a sudden just takes hold. And all of a sudden there's kind of a hockey stick curve where, the growth of your investments goes like this. And all of a sudden at a certain point, when compound interest really takes hold, it just kind of shoots up. And that's kind of basically what happens. So people really underestimate the power of consistency, and they think they have to chase big returns. And because of that, chasing big returns also comes with higher risks. And so that's why a lot of people lose a lot of money chasing returns, is because once they lose a lot of money, they become gun shy and stop investing because they think, oh, it doesn't work. But for me, I just go a little more conservative route, but I'm just consistent at it. And then that's kind of how we build our wealth.
It's very simple, guys. Just save money, make money, spend money to make more money, to save more money,
invest
to
money.
make more money, to save. It's a simple cycle. You want to spend money to make money, to save money, and cycle repeats. It's simple. Just
Pretty
or
simple.
in other words, just sell Bucky's brisket sandwiches.
There you go.
You can also do it that way.
There you go. If Bucky's ever franchises, you can buy a Bucky franchise. You'll become an instant millionaire.
Yeah. And hey, Bucky's, I'm just saying, you could also become a millionaire, maybe just taking a tiny bit of the gas from Bucky's, because their gas pumps is thousands of feet long, wide. They're giant, yet they always get full. I'm like, how? And that's why we usually go in and then get gas. Yeah.
I always get gas first, just because I could usually pull in, get gas, and then I go in.
We also do that sometimes if there's a spot. I'm like, Dad, we don't have any gas yet. How are you still driving this car to try and find some gas? He's like, someone's gonna pull out. Oh, sure. All right, got it. All right, let's go.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, as always, as we talk, we love money. And what is not better than money? Maybe a Bucky's brisket sandwich. I don't know.
There you go.
But we love money in general, which is why we have to help support we have to help support our people who come on this podcast. So is there maybe a website, a link, or really just anything where people can find out more about you?
Yeah, just go to marriedentrepreneur.co. So there's all our information. There's actually a free assessment for these married business owners that are really want to do more than don't have a life besides just their business. Basically, their business is all consuming. It's taking it over their personal life. Probably challenging their marriage and their family life at home. So how do you do both well? How do you have better work-life balance as a married entrepreneur? And so that's where if you go to marriedentrepreneur.co, there's a free assessment that you can take right on the homepage there. The marriage and business assessment measures how well you're doing in 6 core areas of your marriage and business, and it tells you where you're thriving and what areas of your marriage or business can use a little bit of love. And so take that, it's free, go on there. And then there's also access to our book, Tandem, The Married Entrepreneur's Guide for Greater Work-Life Balance. So, and then you can follow us on our podcast on there too, Thriving in Tandem.
Oh, perfect. I didn't know that you guys have a podcast. Guys, go help support the podcast because we're podcasting. So in my earbud, I just made my earbud fly out. We should make this make a short of like top 5 wildest clips when recording podcasts.
There you go. The bloopers, the outtakes. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So go help support the podcast because podcasting is amazing. We love podcasting. I'm a podcaster. Yeah. And of course, for all my viewers, they can find us at leointerviews.com, where we will be releasing some new merch soon on leointerviews.com. It's not out yet, but it will be soon. So yeah, they can find the merch there. And then of course, leointerviewsacademy.com, where it is a academy to help your kids not only build confidence, but also build great skills for later in life, connections, trust, and really just all of it. And you don't get that anywhere else. And so by now, it's currently $197. The first 25 families to buy get a 20% off discount. So buy now, before you lose that sweet beaver brisket sandwich Buc-ee's discounts.
Throw that in. Throw out a free brisket sandwich.
Yeah. Hey, hashtag not sponsored, but would love to be sponsored. Buc-ee's.
There you go.
Sir Buc-ee, if you are watching this, please sponsor us. I love everything Buc-ee. I'm not even joking. I have like 3 Buc-ee's stuffed animals.
All right.
I'm not even joking.
There you go. Oh, I believed you.
I'm not even joking when I say this. I literally have a giant Buc-ee stuffed animal right here with that adorable face.
That's a Buc-ee.
Yes, that is a beaver with a hat. I don't know why, but it has a hat. But yes, I would love to be sponsored, so please sponsor me. Anyway, as always, we gotta move on to the ultimate burning question, more spicier than wasabi, hot sauce, literally anything. Do you think you can handle it?
I'll try.
Okay. By the way, like as I mentioned, it's more spicier. It's like more spicier than a Carolina Reaper, a ghost pepper, wasabi, ginger, anything spicy. It's more spicier than everything that has spice combined into one in the world. Do you think you can handle it?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't handle that in the real world, but I'll give it a stab. I'll give it a go.
Okay. You have 2 sodas to choose to drink from. One of them is a Coke, the other is a Sprite. I think I know which one that you're probably going to go for, but just in case, which one would you choose?
Well, thankfully, if I was still working at Coke, either one of them would be safe because Sprite is a Coke product.
Okay, I missed in my homework on that. Oops.
That's okay. I would still gravitate towards Coke. Occasionally, I'd say 10% of the time I would grab a Sprite, but most likely it'll be a Coke, yeah.
All right. Well, that is a point for Team Coke. Coke, I want to say, is at like 6 points. Sprite is currently at like 3 right now. So it's the first one to 10 points wins. I'm going to have to do my homework because I didn't realize that they were both Coke products. Next time we'll make it like actually 2 different products.
Well, it's Coke and Pepsi. The Coca-Cola Wars. Man, come on. You got to do the Cola Wars.
I mean, technically also Dr. Pepper as well. I'm just saying. Like, red, white, blue, the American flag. I listen, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Life as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old is wonderful.
Oh, don't forget your age.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh gosh. Oh, no. I'm getting Alzheimer's. Ah!
I hope not.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. Well, it was nice having you on the show.
Hey, thanks, Leo. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, guys, hit that like button, hit this, kick the subscribe button, smash the bell button, because we need to reach 200 subscribers. And as always, it's nice meeting you.
Good to meet you, Leo. I guess I'm gonna have a conversation with your dad tomorrow. So.
Okay. Well, until next time, guys. Bye.
All right. I'll see you.